Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Strategic Wealth Strategies podcast with our host, Alan Porter. Alan, what's going on, man? How are you?
Doing well, doing well. It's a great day here in North Carolina, about 80-something degrees. It's a beautiful day, no clouds in the sky. Got a little rain this morning, but that's about it.
Hey, it's nice in Pittsburgh as well, cooler. That's a good thing. And so it's getting time for back to school time. And with school starting soon, have you thought about what you're teaching your kids about money? I think it's such an important time to talk about it. Parents always want to help their children succeed, but unfortunately, many never talk to their kids about financing. And again, Alan, you're going to join us on this podcast to talk about some strategic wealth strategies with money lessons for kids at every age. And I think this is so important, Alan, especially now with this gamification stuff. People are, and I'm going to even go before even talking about this, kids are getting their parents' money and spending it like water on TikTok, on Roblox, and all these different things. And they have no idea. And that money, it's nothing. It's gone. It's lost in gaming. So why is it important for parents to teach their kids about money, especially this time?
Well, a lot of times talking about money and savings can be a taboo subject for certain people. So they've had bankruptcies or other major financial problems. But 80% of Americans say it's the responsibility of the parents to talk to their kids. And in North Carolina, right here in North Carolina, they're required to teach personal finance. And if children are not taught to manage their money and their finances as well, they may face problems in adulthood.
Wow. That's huge, because what happens if you don't teach your kids money? Then they don't know, and then they're going to do the same darn things that their parents did, right? They're following exactly the same footsteps. They see mom or dad overspending, they're going to overspend, right? It's all about what you model for your kids. So you need to teach and practice the same thing too, right?
Right. You need to set a good example.
All right. What kinds of money lessons should parents be teaching? Let's talk about elementary school first.
Well, like, when the kids are really young and in elementary school, you can always start off like a piggy bank, like I did, but encourage your children to save from gifts from birthdays and events, and build their savings up, and start having conversations with your kids about how you save money for emergencies and things like emergencies and vacations. I mean, in middle school, 40% of the parents give children an allowance for doing something, for work or chores or something like that. Make your kids work for the money, because when they go out and spend it, they're going to much more appreciate it and value it, instead of just, okay, Dad, give me $20, I need to do this, or Dad, give me $50, I need to do that. They don't respect that. They're not going to take care of it. Teach them the difference between a want and a need, and explain why the want always exceeds the need. I mean, it's and also explain to them how debt works. And then in high school, this is kind of hit home with me, because my granddaughter, she's a junior this year, and she's going to graduate this year. No, she's going to be a sophomore this year. She's going to graduate as a junior because she's taking extra courses. But now she's working full time right now this summer. And she asked me, she said, Papa, what do you think I should do with this money? I don't want to sit in a savings account where it does nothing. I said, I'm glad you asked me that question. Now, we can set you up with a custodial Roth IRA. Now, you understand you have to be employed or you can't contribute to it. But the other thing you could do, you could possibly start a cash value life insurance policy and pay yourself compound interest, and borrow from yourself and pay yourself compound interest instead of the banks if you want to go buy something. And this could be a good start for your retirement program too. But people need to explain how debt works. They need to understand the effective interest costs they're paying on their loans. And, they buy a car or some larger purchase. No, the real cost is the effective interest cost. Like I have people tell me about, they've got a 2.75% interest rate on their mortgage. Well, actually, their effective interest cost is probably over 50% to 60% when they first start buying that, because it's not going to get down to that 2.75 until the last couple months of the mortgage. And people need to explain to the kids about this stuff, how interest compounds for financial institutions and not themselves.
How can parents talk to their adult children about money? This is huge right here.
I mean, this is crazy. 50% of parents support their adult children at the cost of around $1,400 every month.
Wow.
Now, it's a great gesture, but it should never come as a detriment to your own finances. I tell people, you've got all this money built up for your retirement, your 401k, and then your cash value, life insurance, fixed index annuities, and a stock portfolio. These are things that you want for your retirement, to go out, join the country club, to take a vacation, do whatever you want. And don't worry about your kids. Give your kids cash value life insurance for pennies on the dollar. That's completely tax-free. The other thing too, if a child lives with you, you got to have an open and sincere conversation with them about, what's their responsibilities? What are their boundaries? What are they going to pay for? And understand, again, I can't emphasize this enough. And last, remember to prioritize your retirement so you don't become a financial burden to your kids. And I show people how to have guaranteed income in retirement, so they don't have, the number one fear in retirement, Neil, is running out of money before you run out of life. I can eliminate that risk and retire, plus many others. And like long-term care, I want people to understand long-term care is very expensive. And I sure don't want my kids take care of me in long-term care. I don't want to go live with them, and I know they don't want me to go live with them. I want somebody to come to my house and take care of me like a qualified person. And I have tax-free options to do that for pennies on the dollar. But overall, people need to start their education in elementary school, just like I said before. Teach your kids the cost of money, and when you pay them something for work they do, believe me, they're going to respect it a lot more and not just blow it away.
Wow. Some powerful, powerful stuff, Alan. And I think what we're learning in this process is that discuss money early. Go and do these things. You check out Alan Porter and what he's talked about in this podcast, share it with people. Because really, the biggest divorce is one of the major reasons why people get divorced is because of money.
Exactly right.
Because if one person doesn't understand finances and it drives the other one and causes stress in the entire family, the relationship is ruined, the love is ruined, and the family's ruined. The kids are ruined based on money.
Yeah, it's a national problem right now, because people understand that 84% of Americans are in debt to the tune of over $17 trillion, and it grows daily. Just the first 2 weeks of this month, people put $1.7 or $8 billion on credit cards. That's insane. But people need to come and get control of their family or their finances and set a proper example for their kids. Because
you think there should be not credit cards at all? It should be just debit cards? I really think there should be.
What was that, Neil?
Debit cards, you only use a debit card, never use a credit card.
Exactly right. Because a debit card, if you run out of money, it's not going to work anymore. But a credit card, people don't understand effective interest rate in credit cards are anywhere from 90 to 99%. And I've explained that in other videos, but it's crazy. And there's too much
and you're
money.
Paying for stuff a month in advance. You're paying stuff a month after you bought it with a credit card compared to you paying it right now. I don't use credit cards. I don't care if it doesn't help my credit reports. I don't care. No, all cash for me. Meaning debit. All right, not cash person. Most people aren't taking cash anymore, Alan.
Yeah, that's another thing.
So get ready for crypto, all those things, and all that. That could be for another discussion. But bottom line in this whole thing is, make sure you teach your kids money. Make sure if you're a parent of adult children, teach them and have those conversations and say, I'm not bailing you out this time. They're going to learn about finances a lot more quicker, Alan, if they're not going to get bailed out.
Well, you're absolutely right. That's for sure. I remember when I was growing up, I had a paper route back in Nebraska. And I remember going down to the post office and picking up those papers, and there's a foot of snow on the ground, and we load those papers up, but nobody ever taught me about a checkbook. And man, I was writing checks all over the place. And my mom, we got a letter from the bank. My mom got me aside. I thought she's going to whip my butt, but you just can't write checks like this. I said, well, they're there. I said, yeah, so you can't do that. So she finally taught me how to do balance a checkbook. But that was a painful lesson in my life.
All right. So the best place to go is email you at strategicwealth, the number 0 gmail.com. And you can call 910-551-1046 and contact Alan today. And I mean, it's such an important time because finally the word's starting to get out of what you do, but still other people try. Those financial institutions and the people that are into the stocks, they still say, hey, this is not the way to go. Trust me, it is. Definitely.
Well, I appreciate it, Neil.
Thanks, Alan. All right, that was the Strategic Wealth Strategy Podcast, guys. Take care.